event, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So yeah, let's start. Woo!
Dumelang. Hello, everybody. Hello. Dumelang. Can everybody try that? Dumelang. Dumelang. That's how we greet in Setswana. We say Dumelang. Okay. So I'm gonna say, throughout the program, there's gonna be a lot of Setswana words and English words and sayings. So pay a lot of attention because we have a lot of gifts to give away. So there'll be a lot of chances for you to get some of those gifts. Welcome to KAIST Botswana. I'm a student here at KAIST. I have my friends here from Botswana, from KAIST, and from other universities from around Korea who are here today to join us today. I would also like to welcome some professors who are here today to support our friend Chris here and our alumni who used to be here at KAIST. Professor Chon. Professor Park. And Master Seng. Master Jang. So welcome again to KAIST 1, and please pay attention, have fun, interact. There's a lot of activities. We want you to have fun with us, okay? All right. So Chris is gonna start off the presentation with 10 things that we want you to know about Botswana. There's a lot to know, but we picked 10 things that have like subcategories of things that we think you should know. Okay? Enjoy.
Good evening again. My name is Christopher Mokoni, as already been introduced. I'm a KAIST student, and we are really happy to be here today in this event, KAIST 1. As we know, trying to explain or describe a country in 5 minutes is very, very difficult. So what we are going to do, I'm just going to touch you, just give you an overview, because we have come across a number of incidents in which somebody had said, "Are you from Botswana?" Then when you say, "Yes, I'm from Botswana," where's Botswana? Is it in North America? So we are just going to try to start first by trying to identify where Botswana is. These are the two maps that I would like you to point your attention to. The first map, as you know now, Botswana is in Africa, right? Okay. So that is the first fact. Botswana is in Africa. However, but the thing is, Botswana and Africa, where? How is it related to other Africans? The legend or the research, it says that there was a migration of our early ancestors who came from the area which is now around the Niger or the Congo region. Those were called the Bantu people. Can we say Bantu? Bantu. In my language now, we don't say Bantu. We have a language that says Batu. Batu, meaning people. So this name, although it says Bantu, we have a feeling that it's probably not the name of those ancestors, but it was used to identify those people who originated from the Congo Basin. And then they came and migrated away from the Sahara Desert. If you know, the Sahara Desert is a very, very tough place to live. So a lot of our people, they moved away from the Sahara Desert and the equatorial area down to the south. And we as Botswana nation, we are now part of that. But also now what is important is that between that and 1966, there was a lot of transformations that we cannot go through. But what is important now again is that we like to point to say now, Botswana is different from South Africa. That is also another confusion. But the fact is that in South Africa, as you can see, the neighbors of Botswana is South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Namibia. 4 countries. But in South Africa, you have even more Botswana than in Botswana. But Botswana is an independent country alone. So that is also another key fact that we would like our international colleagues and people out there to actually understand. That is our little country there. The area of that normally they compare to either the size of Texas or the size of France. And in terms of size, again, relative to Korea, it's about 5 times the size of Korea. So that is our little country. I think some of the details will come. Now I'll give you to another colleague to take you. But before, I have a lot of presents here. Question. Who gets the question gets the present. Bantu is the name that was given to the people who originated from that. In my own language, what is Bantu? I was supposed to pick one. Just choose that. No, that one. The black shirt. Maybe your name and then quickly the answer.
My name is
We want to hear the pronunciation.
Batu. Batu.
Bantu. Good.
Dumelang. I'm back again. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a universal thing that we all do as people. What? Okay. I'm going to share with you how we greet in Botswana. Like I said earlier, we say Dumelang. Dumelang. That's just in general. If you walk into a room and there's a lot of people, you say Dumelang. Okay? If it's your friends, you just say Dumela. But if you say that to an adult, they might not be so happy with you. Like, why would you greet me like that? And then again, if you find maybe just one person, if I were, for example, to talk to Elang, I can say to Elang, Dumela ma. Who knows what ma means? Ma. Ma is like mom, woman. If you're talking to a woman, you say Dumela ma. If I was talking to William, I would say Dumela ra. Dumela ra. So that's more polite, and they might feel really good that you're being so nice to them. So that's typically how we greet. But then again, there's different ways, like in Korea when you greet, you bow, right? But we typically use our hand. And so you greet people with your hand, especially adults. You greet people always with your hand, with your right hand. You can't go with your left. So you would do something like this. So in this situation, this is in a formal setting at a wedding. So when you greet people who are much older than you, you use your hand, okay? So this can also be used in a business setting. If you're in a business setting, you would also shake your hand, but probably not holding your hand. But in this case, you kind of support your hand when you're greeting older people. Okay, so we're gonna practice how to greet in Setswana. who wants to come up and greet me in a formal way?
Dume lama.
And then, come, stay up. And then, if after you greet them, you say Dumelama, if it's somebody you're kind of close to or you know, you can say Otsohile Jang. Otsohile Jang. Yeah, meaning how are you doing?
Ocho hilechan. There.
Itsukile Sentle, meaning I'm doing well. Okay? Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna do some fun activity also about Botswana coming up next.
Oh. Good evening, my name is William, and I'm not a KAIST student, but I'm very happy to be here among you today. Botswana is a country of contradictions. Why do we say this? Because it's a huge country, as Chris mentioned before, about 6 times the size of South Korea, but with a very small population, only about 2.2 million people. So you can imagine it's just this vast wealth of land and no people all over. And then we also consider ourselves to be farmers or agriculturalists, but 70 or 80% of our land is all desert. So it's actually not farmable at all. So it's one of the things I always think about when I think about Botswana. What makes us unique is that there's a lot of contrasting features in what we have, but how we, our outlook on the world. So that's my part for now.
Hello, everybody. My name is Elan. Yes. As Will said, Botswana people are agriculturalists, so we value rain. And our country being 70% desert, we value it even more. So rain in my country is called pula. Can we all say that? Pula. Yes. We also as our money. So we have 1 pula, 2 pula, kind of like otonon, that way, it's a denomination. So, and tonon equals 10 pula, or let's say 10 pula equals $1. The other thing is that rain, as we value it so much, it's a sign of blessings with us. So this is one of our athletes who actually won, and it was raining when he ran and won. So we consider that a blessing when it's raining. And again, this very month, we had an inauguration. A new president came in, and it rained that day. So we were very happy to say this is a good sign. Again, rain. This is our national flag. This is our flag. And as you can see, we've got blue. This blue shows it's for rain, how much we value rain. And then you've got the white and black stripes. This shows, it's a symbol of our diversity, that we are people of different races. We've got, we're a combination. We're just a melting pot, and it shows here. And the black and white also represents the zebra. A zebra is a very important animal in our country. And that'll be all for now. Thank you.
All right. Is this thing on? Okay. All right. Hi, my name is Makang. I'm from Botswana also. And I'm not a KAIST student, but I live in Jonju, which is like an hour and a half from here. So I'm going to talk about cows or cattle and what they mean to us as Botswana and how they've sort of helped to transform our lives and our economy and our societies. So yeah, so cattle in Botswana are used like as a symbol of wealth, and I know this probably sounds wrong, but when families were trying to gauge which family their sons or daughters would marry into, cattle would be used as a yardstick for that. Not in a bad way, but in a form of sustainability. And our first national university, which I'm an alumni of, was built through the spirit of one cow, one family. That is, our population was also very small at the moment at that time. So the leaders said, so we need to educate our citizens. We need to, educate our human beings. So each family should contribute one cow, so that we build a university, we hire people to come and teach and educate our children. So they actually did that, and today we have one of the biggest universities in the Southern African region that is well-resourced and ranks quite well within the African continent. So that's the result of a cow. And in the middle of the university campus, you have the statue of a man fending for the cattle or protecting the cow as it grazes in the field. So that's how much it means to our society. And then it's also used as a bride price from husband's family to wife's family in customary marriage. And that's a practice that even still exists today. When I want to, as a man, when I want to take a wife, my uncles and family would go to the woman's family to negotiate and say, our son wishes to take your daughter as his wife, and is that possible? Then it gets into a back and forth, and the wife's family would say, our child is educated, our child is very pretty, our child is this and that, listing all the positive attributes of the woman. And so, given that, we would like to charge you 14 cows or 20 cows. So it's also been a form of controversy, because in the 21st century, when we talk about issues such as feminism, people would ask, are you buying the woman with cows? And that's not the cultural context of it. The cultural context of it is that the man's family would be giving those cattle to the woman's family as a form of gratitude, to say, thank you for raising this beautiful young woman that I would like to take as a wife, and for that, here are 20 or 14 cows that I would like to give you as a form of gratitude. So that's the context of it. And that's how much we value cattle. So today, there's actually a running joke or some sort of contradiction to say the population of cattle in Botswana is more than the actual population of people. Yeah, so it's a funny dynamic, because there are like 2.25 million people in Botswana. The population of the cattle exceeds that over, I don't know by how many times. And that has contributed to the transformation of our economy, in the sense that we are one of the biggest exporters of beef to the EU market. So that's how much cattle and cows mean to the country and our society. So what's the next? Yeah, I'll give on to the next speaker.
Our women, our strength. I think women are important everywhere in the world. And in Botswana, they're just as valued and just as powerful as a lot of women around the world. This saying here says, Tari Yasachava. Mosadi. Mosadi is woman. Can we try to say Mosadi? Mosadi. That's just one woman. One woman. If there's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, we say, who knows? Who knows what we would say? Who knows what we would say? We would say Basadi. 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 So in Setswana, there's a lot of bo, ba, mo that we use. So mosadi, basadi. Okay? Motswana is one person from Botswana. Batswana is a bunch of people from Botswana. Okay? So in Botswana, women are very important. They're kind of like the pillar of the community. That's what women mean to our country. And this shows this would be at a variety of events. I'm not sure exactly where this event was, but as you can see, women, they're carrying things on their heads, they're carrying babies on their back. That's what kari is. It's you carry on your back. You use it to carry a child on your back. And so women are very important. Today, Botswana has some of the highest number of women in the country in very high positions in banks, in government, and actually, after we got the new president just this month, we got the youngest female minister ever in the country. She's only 31 years old. So that's something that we're very proud of. It's encouraging to younger girls also to say, I want to be like her. If she can do it, that's her way. If she can do it, I can do it. If these women can carry on and help and support men and also support themselves, we can all do it, right?
Hello again. We as Botswana, we believe that we have two economies. We have the first, which you all know, the conventional Western economy, and then we have our communalistic economy. So for now, I'll talk about the Western, the big. In Botswana, we have diamonds. plenty of diamonds. This was as of 2016. 93% of our exports were made out of diamonds. And as of 2016 as well, Botswana has 25% of the global diamond market share. And that's how much we produce. 25% of the global diamond supply is from our country. This is the biggest diamond, Lesedi la Botswana. Basically, it's called, Lesedi means light. So it's Lesedi la Botswana, Botswana's light. Moving away from diamonds, as we have such a vast piece of land, we have tons and tons of animals. We are home to the big five. We have this banner here. So 70% of our land is inhabited by wildlife. We have multiple game reserves with just about all these animals. And a fun fact, Botswana has the highest population of elephants in Africa. In the world. Just so you know. And we move on to our communalistic. And we move on to our communalistic society. As Botswana, we believe in sticking together. We are people who, we have a saying, it says, moto. Would you like to follow me? Moto. Ke moto. Kabato. Yes, as Lebo said earlier, when we say moto, we mean one person. But when we say bato, we're talking about everybody. So basically means that we are not an island. You live with people. You have to work with people. So this is my community. When there's a wedding, everybody comes out to help. You do whatever you can. You lend a helping hand. But not just in joyous times. Even in funerals, we are there. We have visuals. You have your entire community coming to help you. And so this is us helping each other, always. In sadness, in happiness. We share everything. Thank you.
How are we doing? Okay, they say timing is everything. We have already touched on a number of key issues that or which defines Botswana as a country. But as you have also noticed, my original slide was on the history. So I'm really interested in the history of Botswana. But I'll credit Professor Chon because he's here. Every day she's making me study Korean history. And then I just remember that but I haven't been studying Botswana history. So just quickly, we cannot really talk about Botswana because my first slide I stopped at 1966 when I said that's when we gained independence. But quickly, we do have our own founding fathers, in which in 1966 or actually before 1966, Botswana was a protectorate, was a British protectorate, in which in Southern Africa, you had part of the current South Africa. You had, there was what was called the Scramble for Africa, in which all the major powers, France, Germany, UK, they were dividing Africans among themselves. And to that end, when that happened, there was a movement in which in around 1885 or 1883, we had a company which was based in South Africa at the time. It was not called South Africa, but it was called the Union of South Africa, in which they wanted to take the current day Botswana, the current day South Africa, the current day Zimbabwe, the current day Zambia, those four countries. They wanted to merge them together into one country. And fortunately, we had these three guys here. These three gentlemen are now our founding fathers of Botswana because they took a voyage and went to England to petition the Queen to say, no, we do not want our territory to be integrated with those territories. We want to remain as Botswana. And they were successful. In 1885, Botswana was granted a protectorate status. This is different from colony. It was not colonized, it was protected. Protected meaning that country do not touch that country. But we found the resident Britain living themselves in the country. Now, fast forward a little bit to 1967, we actually had another good timing in which just before our independence in 1966, or after our independence in 1966, that's when, fortunately for us, the diamonds were discovered in Botswana. I don't know what would have happened if these diamonds were found before UK gave us independence. So those are some of the timelines that we are always wondering what would have happened. So with that, I think that is something that we would like to really, those are really the two milestones in the formation of our little country. I'll give it to my colleague to continue.
Yeah. So I'll talk about one other aspect of our community that is very important, and that's storytelling. And you know how in children's books, almost every story starts with, once upon a time, there was a rabbit or there was a cow that did this and this and that. So also in our communities, when we were children, our grandparents or parents would sit us around a fire and tell us a story. And the key thing here is that these stories have been passed on from generation to generation, and that's also been a way for us to document history, because then, like back then, many people couldn't read or write, or they couldn't, there was no other way to document history. So indigenous people used to write on, carve out images on rocks. That first picture up there actually exists in an area called the Zodilo Hills. It's like in an upper northern part of Botswana. And the key thing here is that these stories were like an instrument for our parents and other generations before us to pass down values, important values of morality and other principles. And these values have been passed on to us, and we're going to pass on to our children and grandchildren. And the other important thing is that these values that we have gotten from storytelling have been values that have fed into our democratic ideals, our politics, and how we interact with the international community as well. Issues of respect. When we interact with other people in the international community, we always expect ourselves to behave in a respectful manner. So this is a movie that came out, I think, a year ago about Botswana's first president, how Botswana's first president, while he was in London, met a British woman, and he married her, which was illegal at the time, seeing that in most countries, especially in apartheid South Africa, mixing between blacks and whites was illegal, it was not permitted. So this caused like an international scandal where many major countries had to go back and forth and negotiate and stuff like that. And this is also an old classic about the interaction of the indigenous people, which we call the Basara, and how it's just a back and forth play about the interaction between their daily way of living and how when other people from other parts of the world come to their world, how it plays out and all of that. So that's the key thing with storytelling, and it's an important aspect of our community. So yeah.
Kimutswana. 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 Any guesses what that means? Are we giving that to him? Louder, again? Say that, you said something. No? It was right. Okay. Yes. Okay, we're going to give you that. It actually means I am a Motswana. Motswana is the demonym for someone from Botswana. Okay, can you? Our last slide in the presentation is about who we are, our culture, our food, our dance, our tapestry, our art, and you'll get to taste our delicious food just after. I'm holding this for a reason. You'll find out just now. I'm not having a moment, but we have so many different cultures within our country that are represented through several different languages, several different ways we dress, way we cook, our language, and it's to end this story, our presentation. I just want to say that the whole world is very special, but when people think about Africa, they often think about Africa like this one thing, and so always just try to consider individual countries and try to, when you say, I'm going to Africa, and I say, where are you going? And you say, Egypt. And I say, well, you're not going to all of Africa, just say you're going to Egypt, because Egypt has its own special characteristics. So we just want to emphasize that even within this massive, massive continent, we have lots of different culture and things to share. And now I'd like 2 volunteers, please. And I need 2 of you guys over here, please. 2 volunteers. We're going to play a game. Just jump up and come. So this game is called Safe. It's called Safe. I don't know why it's called Safe. Yeah, so it's called Safe. So can you demonstrate, please, Ella? No, you don't. Okay, so this is a game we used to play when we were kids. Before PlayStations and all that good stuff. I'm old, so. So the first step, basically you need to get from one side of the rope to the other. But there's a certain way you have to do it. First you jump into the rope. Then you go out. Then you have to flip one over the other and then get out. So that's called safe. So do you guys want another demonstration, or you want to give it a try? Yes. One more, okay. In, out, and then... But both of your feet have to... One step. Okay, let's give them a... Go for it. In and out. Okay. Okay, good try. You want to come up? Give it a try? Okay. In, out, all right. And then... Yes! Perfect! Back jump, back jump. Thank you very much. Can we give them a round of applause? Oh, higher? Higher? No, I don't think we have insurance for this, so we're not going to do that. Okay. No. We can try this when we're done. After you eat, we'll leave it at the back. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, this is for my Wikipedia. Oh, whoops! Somebody else control this, please. Okay, whoever yells out the answer. What is the capital city of Botswana? Yes. Gaborone. Okay, correct. Next question. Botswana is landlocked and surrounded by how many countries? I think I saw this hand first. 4, and what are the countries? Yes, correct. One more. Okay, give him a prize. What's the last one? What's the last one? Namibia. Give him some love. Okay. Next. We didn't talk about this, but maybe we have some people who know a lot about Botswana. Okay, yes, sir. Ooh, so close. Father, okay. So, like in Korea, our first president was the father of our 4th president. And ironically, anyway, we're not going to get into that. Next. What bird found in Botswana lays the world's largest egg? Yes. Ostrich is correct. Okay. Next. What is the name of the 8th largest desert found in Botswana, South Africa, and Namibia? Here in the black jacket. Yes, correct. Okay. When did Botswana become independent? Yes. 1967. What do we do? This is KAIST. We can't give it. No, give us something. 66, but give us something as well. That was very close. Yeah. Who would like to give this a go? Hands. No, you've been already. Have you been? You have been. Okay. Pronounce the word.
Chongololo.
Let's see the answer. The answer is in. Very good. Okay. Oh, well done. Chongololo is a giant African millipede. It's fun to say Chongololo, right? Okay. Next one. And last one. One more. Professor? No? Anybody? Over where? Oh, okay. We'll give them both of them a chance. You give her, I'll give over here. Go for it. Oh, your mic is off. Yeah. Left is gray button. Yep.
Yeah. Ke Motswana, ke Tswa Botswana, ke Basa Tswana.
Okay, hold on.
Do my Tswana.
Ke Motswana, ke Tswa Botswana, ke Bua Tswana.
Okay, you want to guess the meaning?
I'm from Botswana, we are from Botswana. I speak the language of Botswana.
Yes. Okay. Show them some love, please. Ke Motswana, ke tswa Botswana, ke bua Setswana. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. I'm going to hand over to Chris.
Next slide. Hey. No, put it there. Thank you. We are still very well on time. We are not behind or ahead of time. So what we are going to be doing, we are going to be preparing some little fashion show so that we show you how we dress in Botswana, some of our traditional attires. So they are preparing, but in the meantime, we'll also show some of the videos that
viable country, an
talk about the country.
Well, at present it can't. I think we'll need a lot of assistance, particularly from the United Kingdom and from other more friendly disposed countries, and by our own efforts, particularly by extensive prospecting for minerals and so on, and the improvement of the cattle industry and as well as agriculture.
I'm from land of Kama the Great, and I do know the story of Sechele the Great. Who fought the Boer Sabahula Kakanono Barebaleka Botsana Mobotswana Karikoka Ali Supalele Hakusia Mukwena Arelehoka Positaro Zakopatsire the channel protectorate to Botswana Rabatswana Mobotswana Ripela Kasetswana Ripela Karibina Mino Lemaboko Bana Basari Abutia Moko This is Soko Zane Gishota Kane Muholo Kwane Kimutsaba Kiri Keleta Jakasinaka Muri Kimetsi Exakile Jaka Kabiswa Yabotswana Blue, black and white, Kamipala and Kaikana, Fatsile Laruna, Joey Busare back in 1966, Anara Utua. From city to city, F town, Gap City, the Tapakate Mane Farazana Kojane. Bula! Bula Motsana Wetsu. From Kamayato, Lilotono Kaya Kavango, let's have a janala, Ripila Kabujanala. Bula! Bula Motsana Wetsu. Mangodisa, Marobela Ridisa, Christmas repeatisisa, Razi Ridichikisa, Dibeke Hololota, Metameko Letapoko, Panele Siswa, Deleleka Mosoko. If you from Gap City, y'all know we mad witty. See the skyline from Color View, it's all pretty. But when I roll with me, Palape girls miss me. I'm in my womb roasting guru with a dab of whiskey.
If anyone wants to come up and dance, we've got prizes.
Where Bessie wrote, place where commas spoke. Three chiefs on a note.
Anybody?
Pride, Swazi quote. Diamond vision when we shine, you already know.
Our Botswana fashion.
Take your time to infect this time. If you're down with that Tswana pride. City to city, F town, Gap City. The Tapakate Mane Farazana Kojane. Bula! Bula Motswana Wetsu.
Let's look at them, man. See how. Come on. Present. Oh, we should put diamond here. We are going to be having another run of 2 more fashion shows. Lebu is coming. She's wearing that dress that she's wearing. Wait a minute, Lebu. The way she's wearing, that's how a full married Botswana woman wears. You have to put on a skirt, and then you have to put on that small blanket. That's a sign of honor, a sign that when you see them wearing that, then you know something big is going on. Yeah, thank you. And also the toque on the head, called the toque. That is also something that really symbolizes something good. And then we have 2 more coming. Oh.
Carry on. You want to dance? You want to dance?
Food! Food!
Hello, everybody. Did you have fun? Yes! I had fun too. Thank you all again for coming and to learn about Botswana. We're getting ready for the food. I'm hungry actually also. I've been working all day trying to get things ready for it to be a very good event. What we're going to have today, we should have put up the menu, but what we're going to have today is, on the menu we have seswa. Can everybody say seswa? Who can guess what that is? Or what it's made of? Beef.
That's a good guess.
You can guess. It's made of beef, so it's, we Botswana love beef. If there's no meat during dinner, it's like, where's the food? It's like, it's on the table, but where's the food? The meat is very important. So
It's like rice in Korea.
So seswa is beef, you basically boil it until it falls off the bone, and then you pound it to make it kind of like pulled pork. So it's just like very juicy and soft and okay, I'm getting hungry. It's normally served with buhobe, which is sorghum porridge, but a little bit more stiff. Or it's served with palichi, which is made from maize meal, also a little bit more stiff, or with corn and beans mixed together, or with the corn alone, and that's what we're having today, corn mixed with beans. It's very yummy, and okay, I'll stop. I'm trying to get you guys as hungry as I am. It's working. We also have on the menu fat cakes, which it's just, I think it's kind of universal, fat cakes, but they can be boiled, but we fried it today for you. And we also have ginger beer. It's made from ginger. It's not alcoholic. It's made from ground ginger, and it's fermented over a few days. So I hope you enjoy it. Oh, we also have dessert, which is made from musutwane, and it's musutwane. Who can say musutwane? Musutwane. So musutwane is made from sorghum rice, but we've made it into a dessert. It's very yummy. And so thank you all again for coming. We would also like to thank ISSS for allowing us to share with all of you about our country, and to Hoda, who is the KAIST 1 coordinator. I've been bugging her. She gets a lot of texts and how do I do this? When can I do this? Is it okay to do this? And she's been very patient and helpful. We would also like to thank BITC, which is in charge of Brand Botswana. They sent us a lot of stuff for us to make this event available today. And also Botswana Embassy in Japan, they sent all these gifts for you guys today. Okay, so thank you so much for coming.
Thank you everyone for coming. Hope to see you next KAIST one. So please come out this door for the food. Thank you everyone.